So, today what I wanted to do was I wanted to piggyback off of some conversations we have seen on social media. Mostly started out here by Tony Marinaro and the folks on the Sick podcast, because they made this tweet yesterday, and I thought it was a very good one. Let's go out there and see here how Marinaro says it's a fun time to be a Montreal Canadiens fan. We'll dive into this and a bunch of other Canadiens-related things. It's not really a big video, but it's like, these are all smaller conversation points that I think build up towards a nice package for Habs fans on this day. Let's talk about this right here. As of yesterday morning, Cole Caufield and his 12 goals were second most in the National Hockey League. Nick Suzuki and his 13 assists, third most in the National Hockey League. Jakub Dobes and his 225 goals against was the fourth best in the NHL. Then you go over into the other categories. Lane Hutson's 13 points, third most points by a defenseman. Ivan Demidov's 13 points, most points by a rookie. And Oliver Kapanen with his 6 goals is the most goals scored by a rookie this year. Now, let's just do some due diligence and try to update these numbers, because obviously this is great, dominating the league as the graphic goes out there and shows Caufield, Suzuki, Dobes, Hutson, Demidov, Kapanen, plus the fact that the Canadiens are near the top of the NHL standings. Let's just refresh everything and go over the statistics, try to dive into and see where the Canadiens guys are. So, starting out with the skaters, okay, Nathan MacKinnon is up at number 1 for total points. That's not surprising. He was totally dominant. In terms of goals, MacKinnon is the only guy who has more goals than Cole Caufield this season. Now, obviously, you can see that there is a tie. Bo Horvat also has a super high amount of goals this year, too. He's at 12, Caufield's at 12, Nathan McDaddy MacKinnon is at 14, but Caufield is tied for that number 2 rank in the NHL. If you head over to assists, Nick Suzuki is tied for 3rd. Only Connor McDavid and, surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, depending on who you ask, Evgeny Malkin. Only these 2 guys have more assists than Nick Suzuki does this season. Cale Makar and Bedard are tied with Suzuki. You go over to the goaltenders and you swap sides over here. Hey, guess what? Logan Thompson is dominating in terms of goals against, but Jakub Dobes is still number 4 with his 225 GAA. If you head over to save percentage, you can see that Dobes is 5th overall, which is, kind of amazing when you think about it. A 920 save percentage is not easy to come by. So Jakub Dobes doing that obviously is very, very good. Then if we go down into the defenseman categories, Lane Hutson is still tied for 3rd in the NHL in D-man points with Josh Morrissey. Only Heiskanen and Makar have more points than him this season on the back end. In terms of D-man assists, you can see Hutson is right there underneath Cale Makar as well. He's tied for 2nd in a 3-way tie with Victor Hedman and Charlie McAvoy. Meanwhile, you talk about the rookie conversation. Well, Ivan Demidov still leads the rookie class with 13 points. In this part of the year, Matthew Schaefer is down there at number 2. It's going to be quite the tight race, I would say. Demidov being number 1 in points, it's not going to guarantee him any Rookie of the Year awards. As long as Matthew Schaefer is rough on his tail, I think it's going to be a really, really close race. And then some, you have to think, if Jakub Dobes ends up becoming the Canadiens' top-tier guy all season long, he's eligible for the Calder as well. So even though Demidov might be leading the points race for all rookies, and even though Oliver Kapanen is tied for 1st in rookie goals, you still have Jakub Dobes, who could be a potential challenger. Just keep that in the back of your minds. We actually had a conversation like this last year. It was like, oh, Dustin Wolf is so good. It's like he might not even win the Rookie of the Year award, but he could get nominated for the Vezina. If Calgary makes the playoffs, he could get nominated for the Hart. Obviously, those are different circumstances and different conversations as a whole, but goaltenders should not be counted out. Let's just leave it at that. Let's get back over onto Twitter and read some more conversations in regards to the Montreal Canadiens. This was posted by Habs on Reddit, and it dives into what Cole Caufield said about his Habs teammate Ivan Demidov. All my buddies that I talk to just want to know about him. They're obsessed with him and his game. Does that mean Trevor Zegras wants to come to Montreal? Okay, let's calm down. All of my buddies that I talk to just want to know about Demidov. They're obsessed with Demidov and his game, Caufield said. To get to play with a guy like that, he's already got kind of the wow factor around the league. Those conversations are generally pretty short. Is he really this good? Caufield's buddy asked him. Yeah, he answers. He is. That was from the Inside Ivan Demidov's Hockey Brain article from The Athletic. Let's go out there and read some other Twitter things over here. Hams on Reddit also posted a cool graphic of Noah Dobson. Hey, we haven't been giving Dobson his love in this video yet. At 5v5 this season with the Montreal Canadiens in 15 games played. With 10 points, he leads the Montreal Canadiens in 5v5 production. With 9 assists, he leads the Montreal Canadiens in 5v5 assist making. And he is also the top Habs primary assist guy at 5v5 with 6. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's a pretty good set of numbers to have for a brand new number 1 defenseman who was kinda hyped up for all the wrong reasons from New York Islanders fans. They all said this guy stunk. They all said this guy would have defensive breakdowns and he wouldn't be good, etc., etc. Well, I can probably count on only one hand so far how many of those errors Noah Dobson has had the pleasure of blessing the Montreal Canadiens with. And instead, we can point to all the production he has had at 5v5. He's been very good, and I think a lot of Canadiens fans can agree with that. There also was a pretty interesting clip posted here by Habs on Reddit. Jakub, Dobes, and Ivan Demidov doing a meet and greet in Montreal yesterday. This was under the Paramount, it looks like. And all the fans, all the kids going out there and waving, Demidov and Dobes going out there and saying hi to the people here. Obviously, you know, for Ivan Demidov specifically, this is kind of what he wanted. He wanted to be in an environment where he was in the spotlight. And I honestly think that he's the kind of player that gets better when you put a bunch of lights shining on him and you have a whole bunch of fans cheering his name, following his plane to the airport, making his flight the most tracked flight on the planet. Technically not in the planet, right? Because they're airborne. Okay. You know what I mean. But Ivan Demidov is feeling the love here. Also, Jakub Dobes getting some very warm fan reception. This is what it's all about, man. Being there for the kids, being able to provide a memorable experience to these young Canadiens fans. Obviously, that is an awesome, awesome situation. There also are some other things to dive into here. Habs lead the pack in most points from rookies so far this season. So most points from rookies in 25-26. You have the Montreal Canadiens with 23, Chicago's got 17, New York has 16, Pittsburgh 14, and Detroit 13. There have been a number of rookies suiting up for these teams. Obviously, Montreal with the big guys that we mentioned up top, Oliver Kapanen and Ivan Demidov. In Chicago, there are a number of guys. They're a team turning over. It makes sense. In New York, Matthew Schaefer has been doing tremendously. And then for the Pittsburgh Penguins, you have Ben Kindle, who has been dominating. Detroit, we've made a bunch of videos about them. They had 3 guys make the team out of camp as a rookie. Michael Branczek-Newgard, you had Axel Sandin Pellikka, and then you had Emmett Finney. Unfortunately, Branczek-Newgard got sent down, but Danielson is back over here too, so there's another rookie for you. Ultimately, though, Montreal, they are dominating in terms of the rookie progress, and production. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this Montreal Canadiens update, how it's a great time to be a fan of this hockey team, and how these players are dominating the league at the time of recording this video? Comment down your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.